Greetings, Patrick here. Welcome to Dollar Theater. Dollar Theater is an ongoing series that was started by a good friend Hobbs from Hobbs Horror, and which we watch and review movies that we have acquired for $1.25 or less. Now this month is big because everybody's talking about all the sales that have been going on. Boutique sales are popping off everywhere. Uh, Arrows has a sale. Vinegar Syndrome, Criterion's 50% off. So people are going out there spending a lot of money on the boutique labels. While some of us budget ballers here, well, we stick with what we know, and that is $1.25 or less. So today's movie we're talking about is from 2009. It is called The Tomb, which is based on a story by Edgar Allan Poe. This is actually from the writer of the original Crow. It was written by John Shirley. It was directed by first-time director Michael Standinger. And it has a good cast. It has Wes Bentley, Caitlin Doubleday, Cary Haruka Tagawa, who you might remember from Mortal Kombat. Sophia Skaya plays Nigeria. Krista Campbell plays Mrs. Burris. And Michael Madsen and Mackenzie Rosman and Eric Roberts. Like I said, there's a whole lot going on here. So the synopsis of the story is thus. An engaged writer falls under the spell of a mysterious temptress who steals souls. Yeah, that's about it. So we meet Professor Jonathan Merrick. He's played by Wes Bentley, and he is given, he's written a brand new book. He's going on a lecture, and he sees one of his old colleagues, Lynn Burris, and he says, "Hey, Lynn, I'm noticing this really good-looking babe been following me on my lecture tour. What do you know about her?" And says, "Yeah, she's one of ours. She's one of from where Jonathan went to school at." And so he's just like sort of weird. So initially he follows her. She's following him around his tour. Then he follows her, and then she says, "Now look who's stalking." So Jonathan and Lygia get together. They talk. They get together, talk a little bit more, and she attempts to seduce him, but he wants none of that because he's in love with Rowena, who in the movie it appears that she's been more on the wrong side of the tracks, and she's engaged for Jonathan, but her dad is very blue collar and an alcoholic, and it's just basically he knows that his daughter is lucked into a gravy train, and of course it embarrasses Rowena that her dad is doing it, but Jonathan is very patient and he knows as well. Well, we go back with Legia and we find that her and her compadre Adam have been. Legia has been very sick. And in the first part of the movie, we see this. It's going down her family line. Her mother died, and then before that, her mother died, and it all happens when they're relatively young. Now, we don't know exactly for sure what year this is happening because Nigeria looks like she's 21 or 22, but we suspect it's much more than that is because she has come up with a way to steal a soul. She has come up with the device that traps the spirit within the body, and then she's able to put a container on there, and she chants a spell, and the person's soul pops into the container, and then she's able to absorb it and extend her life. So that's why she looks, positively radiant, and she has other abilities as well, like basically, she can call your name and you can hear it from miles away. She can impose her will on you. To have you do whatever she wants, and we find out that Lynn has known this, some of the evil that she's done in the basement of the university. So he says he's going to cut off her funding, But of course, she is already blackmailing him by saying, well, you could do that, but do you really want to know? Does your wife really want to know how you and I met and how close we really are? So initially, he resists. He says, okay, you got me over the barrel. But then the next day at a party, um, Jonathan notices that Lynn is in a really bad mood, and he goes outside, and Legia follows him out there, follows Lynn out there, and they have another spirited little talk. And he says, "I don't really care what you say, but you can't do what you're doing. I can't be a part of that." So, Legia, she injects him with some sort of blood. Don't know exactly what blood, but it pretty much puts him in a coma. And she also at this time she decides to seduce Jonathan, and that's what she does. Not only does she seduce him, but she also lets her assistant call Rowena up and tell her that she has seduced him. So she goes over there and finds out there's her fiance with Ligeia, and so obviously it's devastating. Even more so is when Jonathan finds out that Ligeia has this illness, but she just wants to go home. She feels like if she can go home, which is in Eastern Europe, she'll be a much better place for it. So he drops everything and buys her old castle, and they fly there and get married, and yeah, she continues her experiments. Uh, and then yeah, we should leave it there. Uh, wow, what to say? First of all, this movie was actually part of the Fangoria Fright Fest. Fangoria Fright Fest came out in 2009, and wow, this is a hard movie to describe because it's from an Edgar Allan Poe story, which is like, how do you screw that up? Um, John Shirley, who wrote the original Crow, how do you screw this up? Well, they find a way. And part of it is, quite honestly, it's not really so much John Shirley's fault uh, as far as his script goes. I would say, the casting director was probably a little bit in cahoots on this, that made this movie not work so well. And I would also sit there and say that the editor, which was two of them, two editors. That's never a good sign, by the way. Michael Sheemish and Danny Sapphire. I don't know. Those guys must have been like, one guy clocked in and went home at 4, and the other guy came in for 4, clocked out at 12. Because this is a very badly edited movie. This movie is chopped to ribbons. You can't get any rhythm into it. It's just chopped. Um, the acting too. Wow, what can I say? I mean, it looks great, but the acting is. I mean, I will give credit where credit's due, and there's two actors that did give their all a little bit into this, and that was Sophia Skye, who played Ligeria, and Caitlin Doubleday played Rowena. But the rest of the cast was really subpar. Um, I like Wes Bentley. In fact, this is one of the reasons why I bought this movie, because I had Wes Bentley on here. I've enjoyed him. I've enjoyed watching his performance since American Beauty. But this is obviously the worst I've ever seen him. Just very, very. He didn't look healthy, and it had nothing to do with the cinematography. He just didn't look healthy when he made this movie. He executive produced it, but still, he didn't look very healthy. His acting was really wooden. There was no emotion. There's just, it just wasn't very good. Um, Everybody else really didn't have that much to do. Michael Madsen was doing his usual drunk, drunk persona. We saw that, um, and uh, uh, like I said, Caitlin Doubleday, she did her best with playing Rowena. But the rest of it, Krista Campbell, who was a good actress, Eric Roberts. I will say maybe Mackenzie Rosman had a good spirit, had a good part as well. She tried her very best. She played Laura Lee. Of course, Mackenzie Rosman played on Seventh Heaven. She played the littlest girl, and here she still playing I guess she's probably about 12 or 13 in this role. And so she does her best as well. But overall, this was just really not my cup of tea. And it looks great, but it isn't great. Um, yeah. Well, I got this at Blockbuster. It says $1.99 here. I can tell you right now, I got this for $1. It was their store was closing and they were looking to clear out. So this one fell into the realm of $1.25 dollar theater. That's a shame too because I was pretty jacked up about watching this one. I've had it for quite a while. I was, and then I saw the Fangoria Fright Fest, so I got really enthused for it. But yeah, the script's not that good. I mean, I can keep on rehashing what's all not good here, and that's a real shame because I really like to be rather sitting here telling you how good this movie was, based on the Edgar Allan Poe angle, plus the cast, plus the production design. But overall, I can't do it. But if you don't believe me, you can go ahead and probably find this at Amazon or eBay. Probably get it for a decent price. Probably find it pretty easily as well. And that's it. That's all we got. But thank you for watching Dollar Theater. If you're new to my channel, please consider hitting the sub button. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of The Tomb. Speaking of that, I should mention that there are some special features on here, including a very in-depth interview section, which is really interesting. It was much more than what you expect for a movie like this. And it has previews of 8 other Fangoria movies, and it has trailers. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Monday.